Hi, I'm Nalini, and this is an addendum to the Eclipse Cauldron video that I made a week or so ago. There's actually so much coming through right now that I've been sitting here for half an hour or so, just letting it all stream through and wondering what words could possibly frame any of this information. And as she tends to do, Source simply said, just get started. So last time I talked about how the light incoming, what we are being infused with, is bringing up all kinds of things that are purging. We are in this huge purging window, this eclipse cauldron. And the best thing we can do is to rest, relax, breathe, release, be in nature as much as possible. All those things that we know to do. It's also looking at what are we holding on to, not with any attention on that, but simply feeling that little tug. And it might be from something we might not expect. So for a lot of us, those of us who are sensitives, we are experiencing the evolution, the upgrade of the empath archetype. You know, the one who sees, feels, and knows, who feels the feelings of others, even when they don't, who sees things that other people don't see. And I lost count many decades ago of how many times I've been told you're too sensitive or that's your imagination. And at this point, most of us know to just let that slide off because we are being a mirror for the one projecting that comment for something they don't want to see. We are in this eclipse cauldron where what we don't want to see, any of us, all of us, is right there in life's mirror. And we can choose to look or not. If we persist in not seeing what there is to see, it will circle back around some way, somehow, and that will be different for each of us. What I've noticed is with the empath archetype and its evolution. I made an audio a few years ago called Ascended Empathy, I believe it is, and it spoke to this, but it's about the realization that is this a gift? Is it a curse? None of that really matters. It's a way of being that we all have within us. We all have empathy in some form. It's a way of being that helps if we temper those feelings with compassion for others, yes, and for ourselves. And with dispassion, or one could say discernment, as to where healthy boundaries truly reside for ourselves first and for others. Meaning we don't project our stuff all over others, or we don't project what we felt from someone else and now we're reacting to it and now we're projecting that. All that stuff, this is childish behavior from an energetic point of view. And all of that stuff is what's being cleansed, purified from Gaia's field and therefore from our bodies at this time. Does it help to know that? I think it does, but we all have our opinions about that. But what is helping is to notice as quickly as possible if something comes in. So for example, I received a text and it was a forwarded text from someone else. And given that source, I might have known to be a little discerning about the content and to consider that source, etc. And I just sort of bypassed it, ignored it, and thought, yep, okay. And then I found this reactive stuff floating in my field, an old pattern. And I watched it because I noticed my physical and emotional bodies were not feeling those feelings, but there it was. So I stopped, as I do, paused and said, is this even mine? And Source said, of course not. That's what I want you to pay attention to. So I immediately saw, because I was shown, oh, that's where it came from. So what's going on? What's my mental body doing? Well, providing data for the feelings that the empath archetype that flows through me was trying to process. So the trick, if there is one, is instead of trying to process it, acknowledge, accept, release it to source. This is not a way we need to be using our energy. It's not a way I need to be using mine. So I let go. And it was instantly gone, and I was laughing again, as was my first reaction to it. Just, okay. Everyone is going through archetypal upgrades of whatever we might be carrying physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, psychically, and whatever other body we're wearing today. And we need not make them real. As we do that, it will mean that there's a process that we need to go through. And that doesn't have to happen right now. So some people have asked me, well, are you saying we don't need to process? No, of course not. Am I saying that anything can be instantly released? Well, yes, a qualified yes. How willing are we? How open are we to see what it is we may not have wanted to see, that we thought we were done with, we wanted to be done with? And there are echoes. That's all these are. Echoes, vestiges of something that has been there, that is now releasing. So what's coming up this full moon, it's on Saturday next for me where I live, the 28th, is bringing in energies. It's a refinement of energies. So I've been tracking these full moons for this year as a project. And what came up through the last one, the amalgamation, the cohesion of these different lines of light into new weaves, which are coming and going, and as we move, so do they. This is coming through a whole new framework, I could say. It's like the move from labradorite to fluorite, and it's moving from these beautiful strands of light into bands of perception, which are still very fluid, gelatinous almost, very opalescent, very translucent. They're moving into a formless kind of form that will have a huge infusion at this upcoming full moon. So the only way through this is through. There is no out. And the way through is to feel that upwelling of light, feel those formations, those weaves of light, those points of light. Consider the ones in the flower of life if you need a visual reference. But think of that, not so framed, but very fluid. And let those be your lamp. Let those guide you through. Let everything that's releasing release. It's going to anyway. But let that guide you through. Here's the truth. Here's the light. Here's the illumination. Here's the realization. Here's the aha or the duh moment. And keep moving, letting the light move you, letting it carry you. So I will do another video when the alignment transmission comes through for the full moon, but let the light carry you through that and enjoy this. It is a massive reset. Some call it the Great Reckoning, the Great Reset, the Great Remembering. Whatever it is, it's great. And it is the light that we are, the source that we are, that is moving through this into something completely unscripted, which we are being asked to trust and to journey with unconditionally. I couldn't be more excited about this. I hope you feel that way too. So, upcoming full moon soon. Love to you.